Welcome back. We are in Bay Vista for News 5's by-election coverage. And this is in Toledo East, of course, it's from Toledo East constituency. And I have some of the latest figures for you, courtesy the elections and boundaries department. Unofficially, as of 4 p.m., the Toledo East constituency has seen a total of 48.8, 49%. We round things off here, percent voters turnout. So that is equivalent to 3,770 voters showing up across 20 polling stations from a total of 7,725. And so almost 50%. I definitely believe that when the 5 o'clock figures come out, that we will see this number surpass that 50% mark, and by 6 o'clock we may even reach 60%, which would be a great voters turnout for a by-election when you consider the statistics for Toledo East in terms of voters turnout on general election days, which stands anywhere between 69 to 75, 76%. So on average, 60%, sorry, on average, 70% voters turn out here in Toledo East. But that aside, we have a couple more interviews to share with you, our viewers. We want to thank you for staying with us throughout today. This is our last, well, yes, this is our last live report. And the next time you see us, we'll actually be joining you for the 6 o'clock newscast. And I'm previewing that here. I'll tell you a bit more about that when we get through these interviews. The first interview we have is with Minister Abelardo Mai, who came all the way from the north to support Dr. Osman Martinez's candidacy here in Toledo East. We're going to go to that and then come right back, and I'll show you, I'll intro a couple more interviews for you.
Minister, we're only a short ways away from polls being closed. Are you confident enough at this point to call it for the People's United Party?
I was confident from before the polls opened. I am not good at predicting the outcomes of elections, but this one I'm telling you is going to be a blowout.
Why you say that?
The PUP is going to destroy the UDP in Toledo East today. I mean, if you look at the organization that the PUP has today, and you look at the optimism of the PUP, I mean, it's clear, it's very, very clear. And you can see that UDP is not organized. They seem to be very disappointed. And the PUP is upbeat here today. So this is one election I will tell you that the PUP will put a beating on the UDP.
What implications does the outcome of this election, if any at all, has on national politics in terms of the People's United Party's popularity across the country?
Well, I don't think that the party has lost any popularity over the last 3.5 years. And this will serve as a vitamin, a boost for the People's United Party. Many times it is about the perception. You win today. I mean, the feeling is that, guess what? The PUP is still strong and united and well organized. So I think that this will be an injection of energy into the PUP and into those who are not here today, but who will see the results. I think that's it's very clear that will be the feeling.
What are the likelihoods that the People's United Party, your party, you're a cabinet member, so I ask you this question, would want to piggyback on this momentum and perhaps get this general elections out of the way as soon as possible?
Well, that's the Prime Minister's decision, but there's still a lot of work for us to do. In my constituency, I have major objectives that I need to finish, and I wouldn't want that they call election before I can do that. I really want to. We really need to see the paving of the Guinea Grass Road, the electrification of Indian Church, St. Carlos and Fireborn, and the upgrade of that road. And when I've done that, then the Prime Minister can call his election. I'll be happy with that. I'll be comfortable with that. But it's about getting the work done. And if I have not met the objectives, then I just think that I need to do it. And I ask the Prime Minister to give me time for us to do it.
How do you feel? How do you think Mike God rest his soul, would feel if he would have seen this turnout and this type of support for PUP today?
Well, I think he's smiling where he is right now. He's looking down and smiling and say, well done.
One of the interesting things coming out of that conversation, Minister Mai, is the fact that after I asked him about his thoughts on whether or not the results of this election could trigger the general election or early general election, he indicated that he hopes not because he still has a lot more work or things he wants to finish in his constituency before a general election is called. You know, it's scheduled for the latest November of next year. And so that's one interesting take from Minister Mai, and it kind of gives us an idea into the direction the People's United Party is heading, where the general election is concerned there. But at the end of the day, that is the Prime Minister's decision, and it is wholly up to the Prime Minister to set a date for a general election. Now, down in Punta Gorda, we have Stefan Norberto, who spoke with Mike Perfit, is the chairman of the United Democratic Party, as well as Minister Colonel Hyde. And we're going to take you to those interviews now.
Beside me, I have Senator Parafit. Senator Parafit, how are you feeling today, sir?
Feel good, man. We're in the southern part of the country, lovely Punta Gorda town, and we're here trying to deliver dishes for the good people of Toledo East.
Coming out of your camp, how has the atmosphere been so far? Are you guys satisfied with the turnout? Talk to me.
No, we feel good. It's difficult to get the exact numbers from the entire constituency. Remember, just the coastal part of the constituency, it runs from Barranco to Monkey River. I mean, that's 70 odd miles. It's a difficult constituency to navigate, especially when you're trying to get numbers from each polling station. But we're happy so far with what we are hearing, and hopefully that will translate into a victory for Dennis Williams for Toledo East for the UDP.
When it comes to the party and the machinery and the boots on the ground, how is that translated here? What have you guys done for us to get to this point?
Well, we had our plans. We know we have 11 polling stations, and we know we have to have our people there, and we have to have our list there, and we have to be ready in every aspect to ensure that every person who comes to vote in Toledo East, they have the information that they need. They are reminded as to exactly where they need to go to vote. That's all been in place, so that has not been an issue for us.
If elected, what can people of Toledo East expect?
Well, at the very least, what the people of Toledo East will have is a representative who can let the nation know and the National Assembly know what are the real issues of Toledo East. We just believe that for the past few political cycles, and especially the past few years, nothing has happened, and there has been no representation of the interests of the people in Toledo East from its area representatives. So we believe that with this show in place, you'll have a fresh person in place giving you a fresh perspective, and to at least have the people of Toledo East's stories be told, and to bring the nation an awareness as to what's going on here. But not only that, but this show will represent true representation and bring all the policies of the UDP to Toledo East, and we cannot wait for that to happen.
So for those people who are not too sure, because you usually have a surge in the evening, right? But some people not sure if they want to come out, they don't want to come out. What does Senator Parafit have to say to those people?
Well, I mean, come on, this is your... People always wonder, whenever you speak to them, they always say, what can we do? What can we do about this government? What can we do to kick them out? Well, today is the day you can do something about that.
So overall, what are your whole perspective, and this doesn't have to be political, but overall, what is your whole perspective about PG since you've been here from Sunday, right?
Well, I mean, I've been here from a Sunday for the election, but I've been coming to PG for years. I love Punta Gorda. It's interesting for us to be doing party politics or having an election where both political parties are focused in an intense atmosphere. But usually when I come to PG, it's to relax. It's usually, you take a holiday, you take a nice drive down to to PG and you come and you relax for a weekend or something. But it's great to be here. The people of Punta Gorda town and its surrounding areas are just great people. The multi-diversity that you see in the Toledo district, especially in the Toledo East constituency, is something that's truly reflective of Belize, and it's always a joy to be in the South. Always a joy.
I'm standing here with Honorable Cordell Hyde, Minister of Lands. Minister, how are you do this evening?
Man, I'm good, man. I always enjoy when you're election time, you know. We get to engage with people and have fun with them and get to hear their ideas and their opinions and get to try to convince them to support our candidates. So it's an awesome experience. I enjoy this.
Sir, when it comes to the atmosphere, when it comes to the turnout, how are you feeling?
Well, here the traffic is not as hectic as in other areas I've heard. Like I understand in Bay Vista and some of the other areas, the flow is it's gushing. But here it's not so heavy. There's not so many people coming out, but people are coming out steadily. At least since I've been here the last few hours, people are coming out steadily, but not in the numbers that we are used to from Belize City. But we'll take who comes and try to convince them to support our candidate. At the end of the day, the votes will be decided, the election will be decided by who comes to vote. And so we're trying our best to encourage people to support our candidate because we feel that he gives us the best shot to do better for Toledo East overall.
When it comes to being here, what did your party do, or how did your party prepare for today?
Well, it was a very short campaign. Usually you know who's going to be your candidate from long before, and you have months, if not years, to prepare for an eventual general election. In this case, we had a very short time, weeks, probably a couple months, and that puts you at a disadvantage. But it puts all the candidates at a disadvantage. Ultimately, they would not have had the opportunity to go house to house and see all 7,800 voters. And I think that's an important part of politics. Like you have to talk to every single voter or visit every single house and understand from people what it is that they want, what it is that is their ambition and their aspiration and what they want for their family and their children. I don't know that the candidates got that opportunity. And so you had to be creative and have meetings with groups and have a helter-skelter schedule, frenetic schedule, traveling. I think they have, 21 villages? It's a lot. It's a lot, but I think our candidate did the best he could under the circumstances and really took it to people in terms of his goals and his dreams for this constituency and shared with the people so that ultimately I think most people feel satisfied that they will have a candidate or they will have an representative that will look out for them, who can navigate the walls of the corridors of power, who has that experience, who have a good relationship with all ministers and will be able to knock on the right doors to open that and create opportunities for the people here.
When it comes to your profile, what kind of people of Toledo East expect going forward from you?
Well, we've had multiple land clinics here in Toledo. We've had in Bay Vista, we've had a couple in PG, and we promise to come back because land issues never end. The more work we do, the more demand there is on us, and we're always happy to go to our land clinics, always happy to take Belmopan to the people and solve their problems. In some cases, it's long-standing problems. In other cases, people are just looking for a house lot or looking for a piece of farmland, and that's our job to make sure that we create those opportunities for the people who don't have, who never had. It's our job to create land for the landless and to provide that opportunity, and so we promise the people that we'll be back pretty soon.
Any last-minute message for the people of Toledo East?
Make sure you come out, man. This is a beautiful opportunity. This is a peaceful country. Like nobody's going to harm you for coming out. Instead, you'll get an opportunity to pick a candidate, to pick an representative who's going to be there for you, who's going to give it all he has to make sure that you are better represented going into the future.
Excellent interviews there from Stefan and Alberto in Punta Gorda. Clearly differing views from among different ministers, their representatives that we've spoken with, as well as obviously from the different party representatives that we've spoken with today, including those from the United Democratic Party, the People's United Party, and of course the People's National Party. It is approximately 5:15. It's exactly 5:15, which means we are 45 minutes away from the polls being officially closed. If you look behind me, you still see a large gathering of People's United Party supporters. Some are just here standing around, waiting for polls to be closed. Some are still working that machinery up to the last minute. In fact, I heard the candidate for the People's United Party come in and tell his supporters here to not get too relaxed at this point or not to lay back too much at this point, but to continue grinding those gears leading up to 6 o'clock. Because even though they seem pretty confident at this point, you heard from Minister Mai, him already calling it, seem pretty confident of a win. I think what they're trying to go here for here is a huge win, a landslide, and that definitely if you're able to get out all those individuals last minute votes, whether UDP or PUP definitely sets the space or lays the foundation for when that counting begin and you start to see those numbers. And so in approximately 45 minutes, our newscast will begin, and we will begin that newscast right here in Bella Vista. We'll secure an interview with one or two persons, and we'll start our newscast live from Bella Vista, from Toledo East. But until then, this is Paul Lopez reporting for News 5 from Bella Vista for our Toledo East by-election coverage. See you later.